5:47 a.m., Terminal B, Miami International Airport. The fluorescent lights hum above a sea of rolling suitcases. A mother adjusts her son's jacket. He's 7 years old. He's holding a small stuffed bear. She hasn't slept in 36 hours. She flew from Guadalajara. She has a visa appointment in 3 days. She has a folder, thick, organized, color-coded. Every document she owns is in that folder. She thinks she's prepared. She isn't. 3 officers in dark uniforms step forward. Not toward the gate, toward the waiting area. They're not checking tickets. They're checking faces. A man nearby, mid-30s, business attire, laptop bag, freezes mid-step. His visa expired 41 days ago. He thought he had more time. He thought no one checked here. He was wrong. The mother sees the officers. Her grip tightens on her son's hand. This is not a movie. This is Monday morning at airports across the United States. And if you or someone you love is traveling, arriving, or waiting, you need to watch every second of this video. Starting this week, ICE officers are being deployed at major U.S. airports, not just at borders, not just at checkpoints, inside terminals, at gates, in baggage claim, in parking structures. And here is what most people don't know. You do not have to be doing anything wrong to be stopped. You do not have to look suspicious. You do not have to match a description. They can approach you. They can question you. And one wrong word, one wrong move can end everything. A 10-year life in America gone. A family separated in an airport terminal in front of strangers, in front of your children, not because you were dangerous, but because you didn't know your rights. This video will change that. Right now, today, stay with me, because what comes next could be the most important thing you hear this year. Here is the mistake that costs immigrants everything. And it doesn't happen because people are careless. It happens because people are good, because they were raised to respect authority, because they believe that if you're honest, you'll be treated fairly, because they think, if I just explain myself, everything will be okay. It won't. Not always. Not in this environment. Here's what actually happens. An officer approaches, they ask one question, a simple question, "Where are you from?" And the person answers. Honestly, politely, fully, and in that answer, they reveal something they didn't need to reveal, a gap in their stay, an expired document, a second trip they hadn't mentioned. The officer wasn't sure. They weren't even looking for that, but now they know, and now the folder, the documents, the color-coded tabs, none of it matters anymore. The mistake is not dishonesty. The mistake is over-volunteering, giving answers to questions that were never asked, offering information to fill the silence, trying to seem cooperative by talking too much. Silence is not suspicious. Silence is your right. And knowing the difference between what you must answer and what you must not answer, that is the line between going home and being detained. An officer approaches you, friendly tone, calm demeanor, almost casual. "Hey, can I ask you a few questions? It'll only take a minute." Your heart races, but you think, "I have nothing to hide." So you answer, and you just walked into a trap. You are not legally required to answer questions about your immigration status from an officer who has no warrant and has not arrested you. Why do people fall for it? Because the question sounds harmless, because the officer sounds friendly, because saying no feels dangerous when you're already afraid. Stay calm, stay still. Say these exact words: "I am exercising my right to remain silent. Am I free to go?" That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If they say yes, walk away calmly. If they say no, you are being detained, and what comes next becomes critical. You've just landed. You've done nothing wrong. An officer steps in front of you. "Can I see your ID and travel documents?" Your hands move automatically, reaching into your bag. Stop. Your obligation to show documents depends entirely on your immigration status and where you are. If you are a U.S. citizen, you are not required to show identification simply because an officer asks. If you are a visa holder or green card holder, you may be required to carry and show your immigrant registration document if you are 14 or older. Why do people fall for it? Because refusal feels confrontational, because they assume all officers have all authority, because they don't know the distinction. Know your status before you travel. Know exactly which documents you are legally required to carry. If you are a green card holder, carry your green card. You are required to. If you are a citizen, you have the right to ask, "Am I being detained? What is the legal basis for this request?" Do not hand over documents you are not legally required to provide. Do not dig through your phone, your bag, your pockets looking for things they didn't ask for. Give only what is legally required, nothing more. You've passed through customs. You're almost to the exit. An officer stops you. "We need to look at your phone." You unlock it. You hand it over. You just made a catastrophic mistake. At the U.S. border and ports of entry, including international arrival terminals, Customs and Border Protection officers have broad authority to search search electronic devices. But here is what you need to know. You have the right to refuse consent. They may still search it, but your refusal is documented. And if you are a U.S. citizen, they cannot detain you solely for refusing a phone search. Why do people fall for it? Because the officer says it like it's mandatory. Because saying no feels like you're admitting guilt. Because most people don't know that "can I see your phone" is sometimes a request, not a command. If an officer asks to see your phone, pause. Say, "Am I legally required to provide this? I do not consent to a search of my device." Then stay silent. Do not offer to show just one thing. Do not unlock it to prove you have nothing to hide. If they proceed anyway, let them. Document the encounter the moment you are free. Contact an immigration attorney immediately. Your phone contains your entire life. Protect it like it does. You've been pulled aside. You've been waiting for 2 hours. You're exhausted. You're scared. An officer slides a form across the table. Just sign this and you can go home. You reach for the pen. Do not sign that form. That form may be a voluntary departure agreement, or a reinstatement of removal order, or a waiver of your right to a hearing. Signing it means you agree to leave the United States voluntarily, or that you waive your legal rights without ever speaking to a lawyer. Why do people fall for it? Because they've been waiting for hours, because they want it to be over, because the officer said it was routine. Nothing about signing away your legal rights is ever routine. Do not sign anything without speaking to an immigration attorney first. Say these words: "I do not consent to sign anything without speaking to my attorney." Repeat it calmly. Repeat it as many times as necessary. You have this right. Use it. Now let's talk about what protects you, because the law, the actual law, is on your side in more ways than they want you to know. The Fifth Amendment. No person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. This is not just for courtrooms. This applies to you right now, in that airport, in that terminal, in that small room with fluorescent lights. You cannot be legally forced to answer questions that may incriminate you. This right belongs to every person on U.S. soil, citizen or not. The Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. This means without a warrant, without probable cause, they cannot search your belongings inside the United States without your consent. If you are detained, not just questioned, but detained, you have the right to speak to an attorney before answering questions. You do not have to be a citizen for this right. You do not have to be arrested. Ask for it. Demand it if necessary. Do not proceed without it. And know this: ICE cannot enter a private home without a judicial warrant signed by a judge, not an administrative warrant signed only by an ICE supervisor. Know the difference. If an officer comes to your door, ask to see the warrant through the door. If it is not signed by a judge, you are not legally required to open that door. The law exists to protect you. But the law only protects you if you know it exists. Here's your survival plan. Memorize it, write it down, screenshot it right now. Before any airport trip, gather your documents. Know exactly what you are legally required to carry. Have your attorney's phone number memorized, not saved, memorized. Your phone may be taken. Stay calm always. I know fear lives in your chest the moment you see a uniform, but panic is your enemy. Calm is your armor. Take one breath. Speak slowly. Never raise your voice. Never make sudden movements. Calm wins every time. If approached by an officer, say, "I am exercising my right to remain silent. Am I free to go?" Say it once, say it clearly, then stop talking. Silence after that sentence is not rude, it is strategy. An officer may ask about your companion, your spouse, your child, your friend. Do not answer for them. Do not offer their information. Do not explain their status. Say, "I can only speak for myself." Do not sign anything. We said this before, we're saying it again. Nothing, no form, no agreement, no routine paperwork. Not until you've spoken to an attorney. The moment you believe you are being detained, not just questioned, but held, say, "I want to speak to an attorney. I am invoking my right to counsel." Then stop talking. Everything you say after that sentence will be used. Everything you don't say cannot be. The second you are released, write down the officer's name and badge number. Write down the time and location. Write down everything that was said. Write down every document you were shown or asked to sign. This documentation could be the difference between a case won and a case lost. Call an immigration attorney, not tomorrow, today, within hours. Not because you're guilty of anything, but because the clock starts the moment an encounter happens. And the sooner an attorney knows, the stronger your position becomes. It's 11:20 a.m., a quiet side street in Chicago. A man, 38 years old, DACA recipient, is walking from work to his car. He's carrying lunch. He's on his phone. A vehicle pulls up alongside him. Two officers step out. "Hey, hold on a second. Can we talk to you?" He freezes. His DACA status is current. His work permit is valid. His record is clean. He has done nothing wrong. But in this moment, his mind goes completely blank. This is the most dangerous moment in any encounter. Not because the officer is necessarily wrong, but because fear, raw biological fear, will make you talk, will make you over-explain, will make you reach for your phone to show your status before anyone even asks. Here's what he should do. Stop walking. Keep his hands visible. Do not reach for anything. Ask clearly. Am I being detained or am I free to go? If free to go, leave calmly. If detained, invoke the right to remain silent. Invoke the right to an attorney. Remember every detail. He asks the question. The officer pauses. You're free to go. He nods. He walks away, steady. He didn't argue. He didn't run. He didn't over-explain. He knew his rights. He used them. He went home. She's 24, student visa, computer science major, flying home for her grandmother's funeral. She's already emotional. She hasn't slept. She's been crying. TSA flags her bag. An officer approaches. Can you step over here with me? We just have a few questions. She's terrified. She wants to explain everything. The funeral, the visa, the university, the return ticket. She takes a breath instead. She says, "Of course, can you tell me if I'm being detained or if this is voluntary screening?" The officer blinks. "This is standard secondary screening. It won't take long." She nods. She answers only the questions asked, nothing more. 20 minutes later, she's at her gate. Knowing what to say and what not to say is the difference between a delay and a disaster. I want to stop here just for a moment because I know who is watching this video. I know you. You are the person who left everything behind to build something here. You are the parent who worked 2 jobs so your child could go to school in peace. You are the student who studied harder than anyone around you because you knew the cost of failure. You are the person who sends money home every month without fail. All right, because there are people whose lives depend on your survival here. You are not a number. You are not a case file. You are not a threat. You are a human being, and you deserve to move through this world with dignity. This country was built by people like you. The buildings, the harvests, the hospitals, the roads, the research, the restaurants, built by people who came from somewhere else, who were afraid, who were questioned, who were told they didn't belong, and who stayed anyway, and built anyway, and loved this country anyway. You belong here, not because a government says so, not because a document says so, because you are here, because you showed up, because you keep showing up. I will not pretend the fear isn't real. I will not tell you this is easy. I will not minimize what you carry every single day, but I will tell you this: knowledge is the weapon they never want you to have. Every right you know is a right they cannot take from you. Every word you choose carefully is a protection they cannot undo. You are not powerless, you are not alone, and you are not without rights. The community around you, millions strong, is watching this video too. In apartments and houses across this country, in waiting rooms and break rooms, on phones propped against kitchen counters while dinner cooks. Every single one of them is learning what you just learned. Together, we protect each other. Before you scroll away, think of one person, just one, a family member traveling next week, a friend who doesn't know their rights, a coworker who just arrived in this country, a cousin who is terrified right now and doesn't know what to do. Send them this video, not with a message that says, "Be scared." Send it with a message that says, "I want you to be safe. I want you to know what to do. I want you to come home." That's all. No explanation needed, no long text, just the video, because information shared at the right moment to the right person can change the entire outcome of a story that hasn't finished yet. Share it, save it, come back to it. This video does not expire. These rights do not expire. We present this information as civic education, not legal advice. Every immigration case is different. Every situation has its own details. If you are facing an immigration issue, consult a licensed immigration attorney in your state. There are nonprofit legal organizations across this country that provide free or low-cost consultations to immigrants who cannot afford private counsel. You deserve real legal support. What we can give you here is the foundation, the knowledge that you have rights, the language to exercise those rights, the clarity to act instead of freeze. The rest, the details of your case, the specifics of your status, the strategy for your situation, that is the work of a professional who knows immigration law and knows your story. Find that person, trust that person, invest in that person. To every immigrant watching this in airports, in offices, in homes, in cars with the volume turned low so no one else hears. You came here with nothing and built something. You are still building. Don't let one moment of not knowing undo everything you have made. Know your rights, use your rights, protect your community. This channel exists for one reason: to make sure that when the moment comes, and for some of you it will come, you are ready. Stay informed, stay protected. We'll see you in the next video.